All right, welcome in Aries to your monthly intuitive tarot reading, and this is for the month of April. So let's take a look. I'm going to pull an I Ching card at the end to give you just kind of a general message to think about for the month. But yes, welcome in. So we are now in springtime in the Northern Hemisphere, so that's amazing. So the energy's starting to move, right? So how did that, we had the Chinese astrology on February 20th move into the year of the fire horse. So the momentum's been kind of moving faster. Things have been happening. How did that feel throughout March? It's like we were just starting to ramp up into that energy. And then we closed out the eclipse season, the beginning of March as well. So now that we're moving into April, let me just take a quick look at what generally we've got going on. So we have the full moon in Libra on the 1st of April, and then we have a new moon in Aries, which is your sign, on the 17th of April. So we are in your season, Aries. So the sun has moved into Aries. So happy birthday for those of you that have April birthdays. We have Mars entering Aries on the 9th. We actually are going to have in April a stellium in Aries, and there's actually going to be 7 planets in Aries, which has not happened before in our lifetime. So that's going to be pretty big. Yeah, we have Mercury entering Aries on the 14th, and then towards the end of the month, later in the month, then the sun moves into Taurus on the 19th, and then Venus enters Gemini on the 23rd. And then Uranus enters Gemini on the 25th. So that's kind of the general, just big, the planet movements happening in Aquarius in April. We do have some big energy this month, some big things. March kind of, March was a big, no, not March, February. February was a big month of astrology aspectings, and then we had March, which kind of calmed down a little bit. But April again was foretold back in the end of 2025 as being a big month. So we're going to see how this unfolds and see how this impacts you, Aries. And this applies to Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Or also, I've decided to add in the North Node. So if you have North Node in Aries as well, you can apply this to your life. Before I kick into the reading, let's see, just some housekeeping things. Definitely, as usual, check out my website. I am still taking readings. If you're interested, check out my Etsy shop for energy jewelry tools. And my books are also available on Amazon if you're interested. So let's go ahead and get started for April. Wow, we're closing out the first quarter of 2026, which is going to be one of the biggest. And as we move into the second quarter, we'll talk a little bit about how we are shifting into, we have the first quarter, second quarter. The third quarter is going to be more of the embodiment of the shifts that have happened the first half of the year. So we are still, to me, this is a big time of integration. We had a lot of transformation, a lot of rebirth, a lot of frequency upgrades the first part of the year. And now moving into the second part, we're integrating, we're really grounding into this new frequency. We're really starting to be more highly conscious of the changes, applying them into our lives, and shifting our reality. All right, I got the Whispers of Aloha Oracle. This card's been coming out a lot. Reflect your authenticity. Your core truths are in the depths of your being. This is where we're starting to really, like I said, apply shifts into our outer world, which we've really been digging into our truth. Even the last couple months of 2025 and now the beginning of 2026, really getting clarity, really refining who we are now, our truths, our true core truths, right? Your core truths, really digging deep. And now we're reflecting this into the world. And once we start reflecting that out, the external world is going to reflect back to us those alignments for us. And that's where we're living authentically, right? We're choosing things that really are aligned with our truth. We are doing things that are aligned with our truth. We're speaking our truth. And we're really not doing things anymore that don't align with that. We've already kind of, a lot of us have already sorted through what doesn't work for us anymore. We're working through those transitions or have already done that, walked away from things, said no thank you, change what we're doing. Behold hopefulness. Feel the promise of renewed vision. And aligned with this is this renewed vision, right? Like it says, we have a new vision of what our life is, what we want it to look like, and what that, as in every now moment moving forward, we're aligning and we're doing things that align more with the vision that we want. Time to bask, switch off, tune out, and re-energize. So this could be a month. There is going to be a lot of new things popping up from a frequency perspective this month. So this is a time to really just surrender, switch off, tune out the external world, tune out the people in our lives that, again, are pulling us down, are re-triggering us, are pulling us into old dynamics and patterns. Really one of the biggest shifts we can make, and sometimes it's like trying to figure that out. How do I approach things or people in a new way that I'm not just continuing the loop of toxic patterns, toxic dynamics, and getting sucked in again? And a lot of it is just like, for one, standing in your truth, but putting your boundaries up, communicating, hey, I'm not going to engage. And for those people that, again, aren't respecting us, don't have accountability or awareness, we are separating ourselves from them. Whether that means we just emotionally and physically put some distance in place while asserting our truth, okay? We don't want to just ghost people or run away and hide. We assert our truth through our energy and through our communication. And if they aren't going to change, and some people, right, we already know that maybe it's family that we've dealt with all our lives that just are stuck in their toxic behavior patterns, we just distance ourselves, but we let them know, hey, I just can't continue in the same loop. I'm not going to continue engaging. And a lot of times, what they do makes us angry, gets us all worked up. And that's where we're starting to shift and not let that stuff impact us as much. But we are protecting our energy here. Let's look to the tarot. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. This to me is about living in our authentic truth. This card, the Nine of Pentacles, definitely is. We have the bird that represents messages that we're receiving. We're attuning and getting information and messages from our higher self here. We're listening. We're really starting to listen and do with the information we're getting, or we're intuitively navigating our external world in new ways that we're really listening to our gut. We're really not doing the things that we're like, I shouldn't do this, or, hey, my gut's telling me this relationship isn't, the right thing for me anymore. And if there are new people coming in, we're navigating that as well. But this is also physically, how we're physically living our life, how that physically looks. Does it align with our truth and authenticity? Six of Pentacles in reverse. So there has been, to me, this is calling about, there hasn't been equitable exchanges going on in your life in different ways. So what that give and take has not been equitable for both parties. So when we look at equitable, it means that both sides of the coin are both receiving, you know, back and getting filled by the reciprocation and what they're giving. But there has definitely, this to me is indicating some blocks here. And to me, this card has always been about the infinity sign, which this card actually has the infinity sign here, if you see here. And it's about that the flow of energy has to just keep flowing in an infinity sign type symbol there. But if we have blocks, we're going to give energy, but we're not going to get something back. And that's a big theme for you in your life in some way. There could be a lesson around that. So you're on one side of this and you're becoming more aware of that exchange and that there's blocks there. Yeah, and the devil. So there's definitely some karmic situation going on that is being called out for you, Aries, where there isn't an equitable exchange here. But again, the Nine of Pentacles is for you to focus on you, focus on living your authentic life and focusing on you and giving back to you. There is, though, some learning here that needs to be exchanged, because if you're giving too much and not getting it back, there's something here reflecting back to you. There is some internal part of you or belief system that is creating that. If you're on the other side and tend to take and don't feel that ability to equitably give back, why is that? We have the High Priestess here, the Judgment, and Two of Pentacles. So there's some big energy trying to come in here. I feel like there's a lot of awareness. You're getting a lot of, your higher self is really trying to get in touch with you. The divine is trying to speak to you through many avenues here. But where is this, like, there's a lot of this, like, uncertainty, back and forth, indecisiveness going on here. But the Judgment here at the heart of the reading to me is like April's going to be a real pivotal point where there's going to be a fork in the road, where you're going to have to get out of this indecisiveness and this, like, it's going to ask of you to really make some clear decisions about your life, about just how you're moving forward. Because Judgment's a big energy. That's a major arcana card. So this isn't like pennies here or like small things going on. This is like bigger things that are impacting your life and the direction of your life. But again, you're getting a lot of wisdom coming through here. So there could be some awakening, some levels of new enlightenment happening. Four of Wands, Ten of Cups, and Three of Cups. So the big focus here is around your relationships. It is around your foundation of where you want to set your life up. Is this, it could impact, be about where you're living, a move, location, but a lot to do with relationships here with all these three cards. And ultimately it's about, where are my connections? Where do I feel, at home? Where do I want to really ground into a spot and build here and set my life upon? And it could be a decision about relationships. But But there's a lot of energy around friends here. So I feel like friends could become a focus for you, and getting out more and creating more friendship connections that can help fill your cup. I don't see specifically about like a love relationship here, but the Four of Wands can be that, and Ten of Cups. I just had the Magician fly out. For some reason, I heard the word reinvention. And in this deck, I just noticed too, there's an infinity sign on his kind of hood right here. So there is, the infinity sign could have a lot of meaning for you in April. You could see this a lot. It's coming in front of you, but it's representing this infinite opening up the flow of energy. And what do we need to, what do you need to do to create an open flow and clear any blocks to that? Because there's definitely the devil here. So it is speaking to some karmic baggage here or karmic ties. There's something too about just like finding your power and confidence to me with the Magician and the Nine of Pentacles. The realizing your own power and getting out of your own way is coming up. Let's see, what's this? Six of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Yeah, there's some resistance here. There is a resistance to wanting, so the energy right now, especially with the Fire Horse, is pushing things forward. It's about action, it's about movement, it's getting unstuck. And somebody here, there's an energy here that's resisting this. It's like you're trying to hold back the reins of the horse. And when it comes to the Fire Horse, you can't, it is untamable, the Fire Horse. So you're fighting with an energy right now that you're not going to win. So this could also be tied to this like uncertainty and like staying in one place, sitting on the fence, staying stuck. You could be resisting a move, holding back communication that needs to happen, but you're definitely resisting and it's blocking the flow of energy. Let's get one for the devil. That's definitely a pattern or there's some deep core belief that you're kind of stuck in some sort of fear. And that's how you're this like fear of change or this fear of, it's like, again, this could be self-sabotaging behavior, the devil with the Eight of Cups. So there is something that I feel like you do need to walk away from. It can also refer to Eight of Cups being around deep emotional belief systems that have really been holding you back. But maybe you're resisting walking away from something, a situation, person that isn't serving you. But there's definitely something you're resisting this change. But the devil in the details here is about the need to walk away. What's the Judgment? Yeah, Four of Pentacles. You're holding on to something. The Judgment is really like the universe is starting to step in. Because you've been holding on to something, like with a death grip. And because it could be your comfort zone, it could be just, there's something about this that there's a really internal, I'm picking up on people who have this really deep internal fear. And so they really tend to hold on to things or people or locations or homes because of the fear of change, because it's a core trauma of not feeling safe and not trusting. And when you're stuck in that space, again, it's blocking the flow of change. It's blocking the flow of abundance. It's blocking the flow of the Ten of Cups here. But it's wanting to come in. It's definitely wanting to come in. What's the Two of Pentacles? Five of Swords. Yeah, you're kind of battling yourself. There's a mental battle going on here. There's also this need, there's this dynamic about control dynamic with the Five of Swords, this controlling behavior pattern, and it's really being too much in the head, Aries. And it's creating a lot of, you know, kind of this roller coaster ride of energy, of emotions, of like mental blocks here. So what's the Three of Cups? Page of Swords. So there could be some message coming in or some communication from a friend. This could be around getting together, a celebration, or coming together. And this could be an invite. But there's something here that's getting you. And if you do get something and you normally are in this pattern of saying no or not going out, I definitely feel like the guidance is get out of your norm. Even if it's the smallest thing like an invite or, you know, an outreach of connection, take it and go out, get out. This could also be about, again, just communicating with people, with friends, staying in connection here. Four of Wands, Ten of Cups. Knight of Swords in reverse. To me, again, because that Knight of Swords is really fast moving energy, taking action, moving forward, motivation, passion. And again, it's reversed. So again, there's this sense of like, it's like you're really blocking the flow here of something needing to change and wanting to move forward here. And it could twist you and be coming out as potentially rage. Like it could be creating anger. But the point is here, I feel like you're holding in a lot. You're holding on to a lot. You're resisting change. You're not allowing the flow of potentially healing or again, just shifts here. And it's creating a block in your life. It could be showing up in relationships. Definitely. Nine of Wands. Yeah, this has been a pattern, a long-term pattern here. So if this is you or if this is someone you're connected to, this is somebody who's stuck in a pattern. A pattern that it's to me, this is really reminiscent of like self-sabotaging behaviors, and it's tied down to not feeling safe, not trusting life and people. So there's a lot of controlling behaviors, potentially coming out too as manipulation patterns. And there's such a sense of feeling unsafe that like you try and hold back anything and everyone from change or movement or growth or expansion here. So if you're tied to somebody like this, that's the devil energy here. And I feel like this judgment is kind of getting you to a point of like this, we cannot continue in this space. So there needs to be change. All right, I'm going to pull one last I Ching card for you, Aries. Get a closing message. All right, so you got approach earth over lake. Good times are approaching. Your undertakings will meet with success. People above you will offer help and support. Don't lose sight of what brought you here. Like I said, I do like these cards at the bottom here. So I think there's going to be things that life is bringing you to help pull you out of this dynamics. It's like, are you going to, take the universe up on their offers that they're giving you? So you have opportunities for good times, connecting with people, people who are here to support you and connect with you. And again, being really aware of your kind of loop here and these patterns to help shift you out of this. I think life is trying to help you get out of this finally. All right, Aries, thanks for joining in. I hope this helps. Don't forget to let me know what's going on with you in the comments, and subscribe and join the Lyran Soul Tribe, and like the reading if this applied to you. Thank you all.